Hi, I'm Dr. Chris. I've been a piano teacher for over 20 years and I think this digital piano really can improve your playing. And welcome to the Casio showroom here in London. Now that's a really bold claim to make. How can this AP750 really improve your playing? Well, of course, you do have to practice, but there are some unique features on this instrument that I think will inspire you to want to play more and improve your skills. Let's talk about sound, and we all dream of owning a concert grand piano, but actually there are 3 of the finest European concert grand sounds already in the AP750. The first one is called Berlin, and it sounds like this. The Berlin tone is actually taken from a Bechstein D282 grand piano. The real thing is about £125,000 to buy, but this virtual recreation was actually co-developed by Bechstein themselves. It's as authentic as it can be. There are also 2 entirely different grand piano sounds in the AP750 to explore, called Hamburg and Vienna, and they're named after where the manufacturers are based. Now, how does having different piano sounds actually improve your playing? Well, every acoustic piano will sound different to another, and exploring the differences and making the most of them is an important part of being a piano player. But don't think that this instrument is just for classical music. If you're into contemporary music, there's plenty of that too. It's really important to buy a digital piano that feels authentic. You don't want to buy something that sounds good, but actually doesn't feel right, because you won't develop the right technique. One of the reasons why these keys feel so good to play is that they are part plastic, part wood in design. And that's important because it actually affects the key density. It makes it feel more like an acoustic piano. Now, Casio aren't the first people to do this, but they are the first manufacturer to use exactly the same wood as you'd find in an acoustic key, and that's Austrian spruce. As well as playing the keys, the other important part of playing the piano is what you do with your feet on the pedals. Now, the AP750 has a very realistic pedal action, but to tell you a bit more about this and why it's so important, let's go and find an acoustic piano. On an acoustic piano like this one, when you press the pedal, it's a lever and it's lifting felt dampers off the strings to allow them to vibrate and give that big sustaining sound. Now, a digital piano will recreate that, but on an acoustic grand, there's an extra level of detail because you can vary the amount of sustain depending upon how much you press the pedal down. Now, not every digital piano will do that, but the new Silviano pianos do, and that's great because that gives you much more control. Now, these days, everybody types on a computer or plays games, which is great for finger and eye coordination. But when you're playing the piano, it's a different set of skills. It's more like finger and listening coordination. So to help bridge the gap between the two, Casio have developed something called the Visual Information Bar. And what this is doing is giving me a visual indication of when I play softly and when I play loudly. And this is a really great visual tool for students because not only can they hear what they're doing, but they can also see it as well. Now, some digital pianos might sound nice at a low volume, but they can't copy that sheer scale of sound that you get when you play an acoustic piano. But the AP750 actually has 8 speakers inside the cabinet and an opening acoustic lid to let the sound project even more. So that means the instrument sounds a lot bigger than it actually is. And mentioning speakers, this piano actually has Bluetooth audio, which means it can be used as a giant Bluetooth speaker. A lot of my students like to play the music they hear on YouTube and they'll copy it from their phones. If you put the sound through the piano, of course, the learning process is much easier. And also there's lots of music now that uses backing tracks and recorded accompaniments. The piece I'm playing here is one of many available free from the Casio Music Space app. So I hope you've enjoyed my deep dive into the Casio AP750 and why I think it really could improve your playing. If you have a question that I haven't covered, please do leave it in the comments below and we'll get back to you. I've been Dr. Chris. Thank you for watching.